Hello, YouTube. Look at this. Woohoo! All right, this is quite a bit of money. Real money, not play money. Just want to let you know that Solar Wholesale LLC is a legitimate company. I'm at the showroom right now, which is in Orlando. Just met with Tony, and we're setting up some exciting stuff going on. I am going to be heading back out from Orlando, but just wanted to update you. Basically, he paid me for my first 2 weeks, and we're going to get to see some really exciting stuff happening on this end. So I am going to head out. Let me set up here for a minute. I am leaving the showroom. The last time you saw me dealing with Solar LLC, I was with Jevon, who had sold me the panels that I bought off the girl off Facebook Marketplace. And basically, it was all legit. You know, we weren't sure about it because prices seemed really low. But I went to the warehouse where they had basically thousands of solar panels. So we knew that was legitimate. But as far as working for the company, you know, having gone through some really weird companies and stuff, and questionable companies or people and how they approach me and stuff, because they want the social media marketing and stuff, and they feel that I could help them with it, but then weird stuff happens. I'm a little bit weary, but so far it's been good with Solar Wholesale LLC, with Tony, the boss. I just met with him, and we're actually going to be trying to set up Amazon, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit about that as I drive here. But also, there may be an opportunity for some of you to actually try to make on this from Tony as well as from me. So, and we're not talking like doing stuff and then you don't get anything, because you can see he paid me. And my door's open. So let me find out where it's closed. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, sorry about that, but this is what happens when you go live. You got to deal with stuff as it comes up. Okay, so the results of today's meeting. We're in process of setting up an online store through Amazon, and the reason for doing that, I don't know if you guys saw the logistical issue. Tony and him had thought that I would be able to help sell, but then when I looked at it and they're like, okay, so I got to get out of here.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Irene Street.
All right. So anyhow, the issue I had with promoting it, which is why you didn't see me promoting the company yet, was one, I wanted to check out to make sure they were legitimate before I tie my name and living in a van into it, which I'll talk about later and explain to you why I have some trolls and haters. It's because of stuff like this, where
turn left onto Irene Street.
People were wanting to recruit me as their spokesperson, and I turned them down. And they become trolls and weirdos and stuff, stalking me and doing other weird, crazy stuff, which I might expose some of these people, because I'm kind of, frankly, annoyed that they keep doing this, and it's been years later, and just show who they are and their companies, and basically. But anyhow, with the current deal here that's going on, they kind of hired me twofold. One was to help them with setting up stuff like the web type stuff with Amazon and everything else, which I've never done. So I'm kind of learning things as I go along, so I'm kind of learning. And Tony was kind enough to let me learn on his dime, basically. But, we're learning together, and, learning what it takes to set up as an Amazon seller, and what we're going to have to do. Now, the whole reason for wanting to go Amazon is because most of my immediate audience, the viewers on this channel, most of you, I'm assuming, are van dwellers, although some people might be at home. But most of you, I'm assuming, are van dwellers or planning on van dwelling. The problem I had with trying to represent Tony's used solar panels and stuff is this. Most van dwellers would only buy 1, 2, or 3 panels, because that's all that will fit on their van. Now, the concern for that was this. it could cost as much as $50 per panel to ship through the United States Post Office.
East for 37 miles.
And that's like, I think, the cheapest shipping option. It could cost $40, $50 to ship one panel. That makes it not really economically feasible to try to sell 1 or 2 or 3 panels. And so I was trying to work out a deal and trying to figure out a way that I can set up distribution points, which I'm still open to and in process of trying to set up myself. Because the way it's working out, I'm kind of understanding a little bit more of what Tony's actually looking for. I'm actually kind of set up right now as a sales manager, but also helping with the media and the web type stuff right now just to get them up and going. So that's what the payment was for. But as of today, I'm going to start focusing on the sales aspect of it. So what you're going to see me do is actually start to show you some of the items and how you can save money and how some of you could possibly make additional money if you want. But I'm looking for specific stuff. And the big deal that you need to realize is that we're selling pretty much used items, although we have some new items. Tony is a legitimate business and a wholesaler, so he can often find stuff, you know, buy things at wholesale prices, because he doesn't like buy 1 or 2. He buys like hundreds or thousands of them, okay? And when you're buying in that kind of quantity, when you're buying thousands of an item, you get a pretty good price on it, so you can resell it for a profit. And that's what, you know, now what he's offering here with his company through living in a van and stuff for our viewers and stuff, just as a little bonus for me, because I kind of pushed this thing with, you know, if you want me to kind of brand your stuff, I think my viewers kind of should get a discount. So I've been pushing hard, and, you know, he's kind of letting me do it to try to maintain the discount for viewers on this channel. And what that means is, even though his prices, if you look at the website, which I will link later, I don't have it right now, but I'll start linking it in my videos since I'm kind of officially, you know, their spokesperson. But if you go to the Solar Wholesale and you just look it up, it's Solar, S-O-L-A-R, Wholesale, W-H-O-L-E-S-A-L-E, LLC. It's a limited liability company, .com. You'll see the website that I've been working on, and some of the new items that got listed. Those prices you're looking at are wholesale prices. You know, they're cheaper than normal. And some of the panels are new, some are used, most of them are used, although some will be new. You know, you can call and ask. But those prices that he's listing there, those are actually real wholesale prices that he's selling them for. So they're already much lower than what you would pay if you paid retail. But what Tony's willing to do, because I kind of pushed him on it, you know, saying, well, if you kind of want me to represent, you know, and because I'm kind of promoting it to my viewers and stuff, it would be nice to give them a discount. So even though they're wholesale prices, what he's willing to do for viewers of this channel is, if you mention that, you know, you're a friend of Denoy's from living in a van, and it's going to have to be kind of handled, not on the website, handled through Jevon, okay? Which I will list his phone number, because he's actually going to be taking the orders and stuff from that end, because you're not going to be buying off the website, because if you buy off the website, it's going to charge you the wholesale price. What I'm giving you is a discounted wholesale price, because he's actually going to give you 10% off, honor that 10% that I mentioned previously. So what happens is, if it says it's $75, you're going to pay less than $75. The problem you're going to run into is this: if you have to have it mailed out to you, it doesn't really become economical unless you're buying like a whole bunch, you know, like 10 or more. And some of you are like, we're not going to get 10 or more for a van. Obviously not. But I know some of my viewers have a house and might be looking at setting up, you know, like a tiny house or a solar whole system, you know. So you've got basically, kind of by luck, I don't know if it's totally by luck or how this kind of came about. Kind of accidental, actually, and I think we have Maggie to thank for all this. Remember Kira Queen? She was the one who did the initial referral, because she thought that maybe I would want some cheap solar panels she saw for sale, and that's how this kind of snowballed and became me representing them as a brand ambassador. But anyhow, if you're building a house or something and you're wanting really cheap solar panels because you can do the installation yourself, okay, you could save literally, just me looking at a rough guess, more than $10,000 on an installation. because most of what they charge you is installation for the labor and stuff, but also the new panels typically cost 2 or 3 times more than what they're available for through Solar Wholesale. And you're getting an additional 10% off because you got kind of an insider in there, me. So when you call Jevon, just tell him that Denoy from Living in a Van sent you, and make sure that they give you the 10% off the list price. But like I said, if you have to ship it, it's going to be expensive because they go by weight. The post office stuff goes by weight. But if you are local to the area, like Florida, Orlando specifically, or can come to Orlando to pick it up, then you just go like I did and just pay whatever the agreed price was with the 10% off, and you just pay and then, load up on your truck or whatever, and you get solar panels at below wholesale. So you're getting it at wholesale minus 10%, and you're not paying shipping and handling. Now, I have some little things in there that might be of interest for those of you who are into like homesteading or have a house right now that you're wanting to power off grid. Of course, it gets expensive because what I'm going to be offering, okay, and I think these will actually sell pretty fast if I can find the homesteaders who are trying to set up really quick. Apparently, Solar Wholesale acquired a whole bunch of portable trailers, solar trailers. They're like those big, big ass giant trailers with, I don't know, I have to look at the specification stuff. It's listed on the website, but it's basically a self-contained unit that has like a whole bunch of solar panels on a truck with a huge battery bank and power inverter generator or whatever it is. And basically you park that vehicle somewhere, like in a field or by your house or whatever, and you could actually run your house out of it. I don't think it was designed for a house per se. It was designed for, like, remember when I drove during the hurricane by FPL and all those people that were out in the field and they had all those things set up with the city out in the middle of nowhere? I think that's the kind of stuff it was designed for, but it could be used at like construction, it could be used on a farm, it could be used on a house, whatever. So if you want to see those items, check out the website, look for those links. I'm going to try to, after this broadcast, post Jevon's number so you can call him directly, and just let him know Denoy sent you to get your 10% off. And then if you're picking up, you save on shipping and handling. If you're buying in lots of 10 or more, shipping becomes a little bit more economical. So check that out. Now, what I'm going to be doing on this end for some of you who may be watching this, if you're very good at selling, if you already have a business, like I had known some people on here who told me they had Amazon business or eBay or whatever, I may be recruiting some resellers. And what's going to happen is it's still being worked out right now because I got to work out the details. But essentially, if you're a high Amazon seller and you've already got a good reputation and you're selling stuff and you want to sell solar panels, well, you can sell them, and it's almost like going to work almost like a drop shipment. Well, see, that the whole problem has to do with shipping, and that's why we're going through Amazon. We're trying to work out with Amazon to see if it's going to be affordable, and the plan is to do something like this. This is what I've learned from trying to set up an Amazon account. Amazon can do an order, what's called
Closure ahead.
Road closure. That's not good. Amazon can do what's called like fulfillment by Amazon. I think it's FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. And what that is like you sign on as an Amazon seller and you ship pallets of your stuff to Amazon's warehouse. And then Amazon allows you to list your item once, they've checked it out and everything's legit, because Amazon's reputation is on the line. They let you list it on Amazon for sale. You buy it through Amazon, and of course you get all the Amazon protection, the guarantees and all the other stuff Amazon offers. So then Amazon actually goes to the pallet and ships it out from the pallet for free, or whatever Amazon's shipping rate is, or Prime, or whatever Amazon's deal is. And the reason we were wanting to do that is for small sales, where people are buying 1, 2, or 3 panels. So I will keep you posted on that, because if that becomes available, then you'll be able to order 1, 2, or 3 panels, and have it shipped via Amazon versus trying to pay $40 or $50 to have a panel shipped to you. because we're trying to rely on Amazon's distribution network for single panels. Now, where some of you could come in and actually make a big money is if you're already a high seller, a pretty decent seller on Amazon. I may be willing to cut a deal with you where you sell the solar panels on your Amazon, and you don't have to pay. I mean, the only thing, this is how it would work in theory, okay? Still needs to be finalized and worked out in detail, but I kind of have a rough idea of how this would work. Basically, let's say you're an Amazon seller already. You're already established, people know you, they know you're legitimate, you have a lot of positive feedback, you're doing good, and you're looking for a new item to sell. Well, you could sell these used solar panels without buying them yourself. What happens is, if you're selected as an affiliate, okay, through me, we will actually ship the item to Amazon's warehouse, and you list the items for sale. Then when you sell it, you set the sale price. Tony's going to sell them to you at, because I'm recruiting you, you get a discounted wholesale price. So instead of buying it at the wholesale price and reselling it at the wholesale price, because you are getting it through me, you get the 10% off. So you're already up, beating the competition because you're already getting it below wholesale. So you get 10% off, but you don't even pay the money for it. So you relist it on your Amazon for sale. The money goes to you. As each sale is made, you pay the company the wholesale price that you negotiated. You didn't really negotiate. You basically got the wholesale plus 10% off. So if the wholesale price was $75, let's do simple. If the wholesale price was $100, because it's easier to work with 100 when you're doing percents and stuff. Let's say the wholesale price was $100. You sell it for $150 or whatever. Okay, you essentially made $50 profit, because you have to pay Tony, the owner, the $100, which was the wholesale price. But because you're getting 10% off, you actually only have to pay Tony $90. So you already made an extra $10 just because you got the 10% off, because you're getting the Denoy discount, because you know me from the channel, and Tony's counting on me trying to recruit a bunch of people to help get his brand out there, his name out there, and his products sold. He has a huge volume of stuff, and that even includes big items like the big trucks and stuff that I'm talking about, those giant solar generators. And so those are the items I'm working on to help sell. I am going to be setting up my own network of resellers through Amazon, possibly through eBay. eBay I might do myself, although I might recruit others who are very good at eBay. So if you're one of these people who have a side business already and you can show me your reputation and stuff, that you've got good reps, you basically can sell the stuff without really having to deal with shipping it yourself. It's almost like a drop shipment, but unlike a regular company, you're dealing with Tony and me. You're dealing with me basically, and I'm going to be your liaison to Tony, because I'm basically your sales manager, and you're kind of a salesman for me. So that's what the plan will be. You guys want to see me? So let me put me back here. So let me see if the camera doesn't zoom in so close there. Is that better? So basically, I'm heading back now. Running through my mind how I'm going to do all this and start generating money. I've never really been about money. I don't believe in money driving everything, but we all know that money is needed, especially to try to get me out of my situation right now. But everything's kind of just falling into place on its own. Like even this job wasn't like something I sought out. It just sort of happened. Thank you, Kira, for that referral. And thank you, Jess, for, working out the deal. And for Jevon. See, if Jevon hadn't seen possibility, like when I went in, he was like, hey, wait a second, this is a YouTuber. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now, and then I wouldn't be able to potentially pass on savings to the viewers on this channel, and possibly giving some of you the ability to make money. Okay, and the idea is to try to make it as simple as possible, which means You know, basically you're just selling without having to actually buy inventory. You know, most what I'm learning about some Amazon resellers, they actually buy like hundreds or thousands of a certain unit of something. That's how they get the discount on it. I'm learning, you know, just like I had to learn YouTube. I'm learning now about Amazon. But as I set up the account, I'm like, what the heck? I think some Amazon people, what they do is they'll buy like 100 items, okay, at a discount because they bought it in mass, or they bought it at closeout. You know, you've seen those YouTube channels where, and I might recruit some of those people, because this is even easier. They don't even have to buy the stuff. All they have to do is sell it. But they'll buy out all the closeouts, all the discounts. You know, like when Walmart or whatever is selling things at a discount, they'll buy it all up, like the Monopoly game or whatever. They buy hundreds of those things, and then they resell it at retail price on Amazon, and that's how they make their profit. But see, they had to invest money. You know, they had to actually physically drive around, which I saw some of those channels. They would drive around to different Walmarts, different Sam's Clubs, and stuff like that, and buy up hundreds or thousands of these items. And then it would sit in their garage, and then they had to hope they could sell it. Now, their strategy, those people, they actually did have a strategy. They would only try to buy stuff that was hot. You know how Amazon has certain items at certain times of the year that everybody wants because you can't find it anywhere. Those people would scramble and buy up all that they could. Then they would sell it on Amazon at, you know, premium price. And that's how they made the profit. Well, now some of those people can actually sell solar panels, okay, that they don't even have to buy. It's like almost like a perfect job in that you already have your business set up so people know you as a seller, but you don't even have to invest money in it. All you have to do is list the items and get it sold, and you make a commission on it. And the money, you don't have to worry about being chipped off because you're the one that has the account with Amazon or eBay or whatever. You get paid. The company's taking a risk that you're not going to rip us off. But as you get a sales, you need to pay the company, you know, the wholesale price that because you're going through me, you get a discount on it. So it's like a double bonus. Now, they will give me a commission. It's going to be very small, but they're paying me also a salary, you know, for being the rep and also trying to get their business up and get all this whole network set up. I'm trying to do it in such a way. I know some people will think it's foolish, but, you know, I've never been one to, even though you hear differently from the trolls and haters, because those are the people I rejected because they're scammers or their business isn't legit, okay? And maybe I will actually show some names and businesses that I rejected, and why you see so much hatred is because I refused to work with them. But, and then some, you saw me leave, like with Maurice. I don't know if you know the deal with Maurice, that was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I know you guys find it hard to believe that this homeless guy has people who have businesses that deal in millions or hundreds of millions of dollars wants to recruit. But they do, for whatever reason, you know. I don't know why. Okay, I really don't know why, but I guess a lot of people think that I can actually sell. Even though I myself, I never see myself as a salesman. You know, I don't know. I don't know why. But they'll try to recruit me, and then, you know, if the deal is good, legitimate, and they're honest, typically I'll work with them. But as soon as it starts getting weird, I leave. Because I'm like, no, I don't deal with people who aren't honest. I don't deal with people who aren't legitimate. You know, I don't deal with people who don't keep their word. Because that to me is very important. That's one of the reasons I left Hessler. You know, I sold Hessler knives because they were and still are an excellent value for the price point. You know, they're only like $50 knives. I mean, to me, they're worth like over $100. We're selling for $50. And because the company actually did honor their lifetime guarantee on it, and even though some of the wording for the spiel that we give as salesmen is kind of a little bit, it's not so much misleading, but people misunderstand what's actually being said because they're not really listening. They hear what they want to hear, but they don't hear what's being said, if you know what I'm saying. But me, when I did the spiel, I always let people know honestly, you know, because I believe in the knives, just like I believe in the solar panels. And I think that's the key to selling items, is you really have to believe And I'm not saying pretend believe, I mean really believe. Like, I like Tony. He's been honest. He even came up front with me. He's like, Denoy, I need you to make money. I'm like, I know, but you've been having me working on the websites and stuff. And obviously, and also I need to learn what it is you're expecting, and if you're going to do the discount and stuff, and what you're going to pay people. Because my reputation's on the line. I don't want to bring people on to a company and then the company rips them off, because that makes me look bad, So, and everybody just has a sour taste after that. So what I won't do is bring people on until I'm pretty sure. Tony's paid me. I saw the business license. I helped him set up with Amazon, so I know all that stuff that I need to know that he's legitimate, that he has a tax license. He has all the stuff that he's required to have as a real business. I've seen the warehouse. I've seen heard some of the negotiations and deals going through where they're trying to get literally tens or hundreds of thousands of items. Okay, so it's legitimate. And his treatment of me is very upfront, which makes me feel good with dealing with him. He's been honest. I think you have to be when you're dealing with business, and I don't like dealing with sneaky people. I don't like dealing with people who just that's the reason I left Walmart. Was that they told me I told the supervisor, don't put me with that guy. You put me with that guy, I leave. They put me with the guy, I left. That people say that was stupid, Denoy. No, it has to do with your own personal integrity and what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing to put up with. And if I tell somebody something, I mean it. It's that simple. They say, but you can't afford to quit a job. I can't afford to stay in a job that I don't believe in. I can't afford to work with people I don't trust. Because if you start doing that, then you've already sold your soul. Basically, you have nothing. So if you're interested in becoming a reseller or whatever, you can contact me on email, denoy.debor@gmail.com. Send me your links. Like if you have a e-store or whatever, I need to see proof, because obviously I don't want to have 5,000 sellers. I don't want to take a handful. I think that I want to build a sales team that can actually make a lot of money. People who can sell, and you basically are selling solar panels without having to deal with shipping it and paying for it and all that other stuff. That'll be handled by Tony and the company and me to an extent. And once we get Amazon fulfillment going, assuming Amazon doesn't have any hiccups or anything like that, I'm going to be recruiting big sellers on Amazon. Myself, I'm only going to be selling limited items, and I might even not so much push the single panels unless people just want to pick it up and get a discount because they know me. It's kind of for me, it's kind of paying it forward to the viewers of this channel and the people who helped me to survive up to this point, because if you guys saw the beginning, it was horrendous. The whole channel started with me with $3 in my pocket, and the van running as bad as it is right now, having issues and stuff. So that's how we started, and it was the viewers who basically kept me alive all that time and got me to the point where I am right now, where we actually have an RV. I'm actually in 2 different jobs. Things are looking good. Things are looking like they're starting to stabilize. I wouldn't say fully stabilize. As long as I can maintain it, as long as I can keep the business going and stuff, and not, get fired from my jobs. Because I love both jobs right now. I love the fact that I'm working on spaceships. That to me is like, I can't even, it was a dream of mine to be an astronaut when I was a kid. I'm a little too old now. They still haven't sent people to Mars. If you're my age, you know what I'm talking about. They said that they would have people on Mars by the year 2000. Well, we know that's not true, because we're 20 years past the year 2000. And we still don't even have people on the moon yet. So that's already a problem. But regardless, I'm working on cool stuff. At least I'm working with cool people. So I'm going to keep that job for a little bit. I don't know how long. I don't really plan on staying there till retirement or anything like that. Although I could retire. Unless you consider me retiring within 2 years. I'm actually looking at possibly retiring within 1 or 2 years, believe it or not, even though there's no money right now. And some of you are like, how are you looking at it with no money? I don't know. I'll figure it out. it's kind it's kind of like saying, how did you just end up in the van with $3 and make it through all this? I don't know. I just sort of stumbled and you know, trust in God is all I will say. Trust in God. Have faith that everything will work out. Don't ever sell yourself short. Don't ever go against your values. Don't ever compromise your values. Because as soon as you do that, what values do you, what are you? Who are you? You know? And in some ways, it makes things harder for me, my life, as those of you have witnessed, because I won't compromise certain values. I left certain people who said they could help me, and they could, you know. I could show you, like with Maurice, he had a really nice house. It was like a mansion. And he wanted to get me a Mercedes and all sorts of, and you're like, why would he do all that for you? Because I was working on deals that were worth over $10 million. That's why. You know, I have to look. Obviously, the teeth would have been fixed. This is fixable. Okay? And, you know, we were working on deals that are very big. Because some of the items, if you saw what kind of stuff Maurice handles, you go, holy schmoly. It's not like a little mom and pop stuff. They're international companies. You know, they're big. And Maurice was an entrepreneur who was highly successful, you know, in his younger days. He said he was kind of doing it now to close things out because he's older, you know. And how I bumped into him was just selling knives. He thought that he liked my knife spiel so much he wanted to bring me on board to help him with all this other stuff, which I'm actually doing right now with Solar Wholesale. I started to do some of it with Maurice. Some of those videos never aired. You guys didn't see everything with Maurice. I was building up his brand. I was there's a lot of stuff I can do that you guys aren't aware of. And I know those chosen haters are gonna have a field day because they're like, oh, Denoy thinks all this. I'm like, dude, you have no clue, you know, what my experience is and why people seek me out. You know, they don't believe that I ghost wrote, you know, for President Reagan. They don't believe that that Thunderbirds and stuff were trying to recruit me. They don't believe that I meet astronauts and deal with astronauts, or that I met the president. And they don't believe any of this stuff because they find it hard to believe, even as they're watching a person and they're seeing the person show himself. And then they can't understand why companies that, you know, like a space agency or whatever, would try to recruit me and actually make up a job for me. It's beyond their comprehension that those people want Denoy that badly, or that a company like Solar Wholesale would be willing to finance me even though I haven't really made any money yet, or, you know, that other people want to help me out, and some of those people are helping out just because they're kind. Okay, not everyone is driven by money. I need to let you know that. I am not driven by money. It's not saying I don't need money. Everybody needs money right now, you know, to live and stuff. I'm not one of those people who are driven saying I need to be a millionaire or that's my goal in life, because honestly, I just need enough to be good enough to live the life I want. And that's what drives me. You know, like right now, making a lot of money really quick would not be bad because I'm trying to retire within 1 or 2 years, which some of you are thinking is impossible. Well, it's impossible for me to have survived all this time with $3 in my pocket, and yet here I am. And not only am I here, you know, I'm actually working as a solar sales manager, you know, for a wholesaler. And the thing about picking this company and why I chose to go ahead and respond to it and, you know, accept their offer for me to be their spokesperson is because it's not so much just having a job, okay? You guys know I'm all about survival, being frugal. That's why it's not like a brand new solar company. You know, I know some find it hard to believe, but those who know me, those who trust me, those who've been with me from the beginning, you know my heart. You know that I do what I do, not necessarily for profit, but because I want to try to help people, and this is what I leave behind when I die. You know, this is the life that I wanted to live, the life of basically trying to help others out if I can. Now, am I going to do this permanently? No, because I'm tired. I've gone through a lot of stuff. I've lived a lot of jobs. I've done a lot of different things. I'm tired. I want to chill, you know. I wanted to spend time with me and my wife and travel and do things like that. And some people say, well, you should have been saving all your life. Well, I didn't do that because I wasn't driven by money. That's why I was a teacher. Even though at the time, companies were trying to recruit me, for really good jobs. And if I had wanted to, the government would have wanted me. That's the caliber, I guess we want to call it that, of even though some people see a toothless, homeless guy living in a van. But then they can't understand why all these companies and stuff seem to want me. Because they don't get it. They don't get that it's not money that drives me. So, like I said, if you're interested in partnering up and you already have a good Amazon or a way of selling, if you know how to move lots of merchandise, because this is a wholesaler, we're in the process of trying to get single items. But like I said, the biggest thing is shipment, and that's why we're trying to go through Amazon for that. But if you already know how to sell literally lots of tens, hundreds, or whatever, you could probably make big money really fast. And from your end, you're dealing with it almost like a drop shipment. All you're going to do is promote it, get the sales, and make the money. You don't even have to deal with the shipping and stuff. And I will vouch for, if there are any weirdness and stuff, you're obviously going to see me on here complaining about it. Whenever weirdness starts, I leave. And I let people know what happened. So, I trust right now, at least so far, I trust Solar Wholesale. They're learning me. They're trying to learn to trust me and learning that I can deliver. Some of you think, fix my teeth with the money. Yes, there were just certain things that were more important. Obviously, as my job situation stabilizes, I'll be trying to move into a house, if that's what my wife and I decide to do. The issue is trying to decide because, honestly, we want to travel. Not just in America, but maybe around the whole world. So that determines if I want to get a house or what's going to happen next. And then the other thing is, obviously, I don't think I'll be able to keep working one of the jobs. But I might be able to continue working with Solar Wholesale if they decide to keep me. Because then that would allow me to work remotely just to make additional money if I really need it. And some of you might wonder, you say you always need money. Well, maybe not. All I really need is I need a house that's not a big house or anything. I'm not into... I know people find it hard to believe, but I'm actually kind of simple. I prefer things to be kind of simple. I like a simple life. I don't really need a fancy... I used to think I needed all that. When I had my software company and was doing all this stuff, I had the opportunity, but I didn't make it. I wasn't one of those people who made it. I was the same group, the people who, ended up developing like Fortnite, or Steam. Remember Steam, the gaming system and stuff? That's a friend of my friends. Okay, all the I guess the second or third generation nerds that did internet type stuff that became big, I was in that group. Some of them I knew personally, some of them I did not know. Some of them actually tried to work with me or work for me at the time, but my company failed. We just didn't have everything in place. We weren't good enough. It's kind of like a survival of the fitness. And the ones you see that are around, Electronic Arts, like Trip Hawkins and them, they made it. Lord British, remember him from Origin Software? These people became famous for software and stuff. I didn't, because my company failed. But that doesn't make me not legitimate. My software's out there. It just didn't sell. We weren't good enough. We didn't do... If you look at the products, honestly, compared to our competitors, theirs were better. And that's why they survived and we didn't. Ours had issues. Had I had a bigger team, more money or whatever, maybe we could have done better. But we didn't. And that's why the company, didn't make money. So, as far as YouTube, obviously I'm not a big YouTuber. I never intended to be a big YouTuber. I didn't even think we were going to be as big as we are. But I think the reason we are as big as we are is because people who come to this channel, they hopefully recognize that it's a legitimate channel and it's not like fluff. We're not making stuff up. that what you're seeing, whether it looks good or bad, is what it is. Now, I do have some people who come here because they say, well, it's entertaining. They like watching me suffer, basically. But you know what? It is what it is. And what it is changing right now. You know, as I don't know if you know YouTube, as far as my end and what I've learned, it's very hard to make money on YouTube if you're legitimate. As far as just a real van dweller, trying to make it as a van dweller, trying to vlog as a van dweller, it's hard to make it. Okay. And even the bigger channels like Just Incredible and some of the others who have like 20, 30, 40,000, I don't know what their earnings are, but I don't think it's that much. If you have less than 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, I think you're going to struggle to make a living off YouTube. That's 200,000 folks, 200,000 subscribers or more. And YouTube doesn't even consider you halfway decent size till you have 1 million or more. Okay. So my channel with what we got, like a little over 12,000, 13,000. We're like tiny, but good enough that some people are watching it and some people are referring to it and some people actually want to be associated with it. Because for them to try to get in with a larger channel, it's virtually impossible. Those people get bombarded with so many companies wanting to sign on with them. They get to pick and choose who they want to associate with. You know, and they sometimes, like Mr. Beast, I don't know the full details, but I think for you to even get a deal with Mr. Beast, it's a minimum of at least $10,000 for a mention. You know, just him mentioning your company is like $10,000. And what he does is he uses that money. That's how he grew his channel. I mean, I don't think it started like that, but to the point where it is right now, where he gives away money and stuff. So basically, I know some of you put in really interesting comments. I want to read them all, so I'm going to read it, you know, after I finish the broadcast and have a chance to scroll through and check out your comments and stuff. But like I said, if you're interested in the opportunity, contact me at my email, Denoy, DENOY.DeBoer, DEBOER @gmail.com, and send me the links to your either your Amazon, your eBay, your Let Go, whatever. Show me how you sell, how much you sell, what kind of volume you do, and I may pick some people. I won't guarantee anything because I want to look, because obviously I need to produce too. You know, the boss, Tony, he's not going to be able to keep paying me money if I'm not able to make any sales or bring people on that will help sell. So, you know, sales is about making money for the company, and you get a bit for yourself. You know, and how good you are determines how far you go. And that's pretty much it. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I hope that you're all staying safe wherever you are. I will tell you this, driving through Orlando and even driving back now, these people are kind of a little bit wacky, you know, in Orlando, in that when I was driving through Orlando, it didn't look like it was quarantined at all. It didn't look like anybody was under lockdown. So that makes me a little nervous for Orlando, because if the virus is going to spread, it's going to keep spreading if people keep out and keep doing stuff like normal. I saw so many cars on the road and people jogging and doing stuff as if there was nothing going on, which surprised me. You know, beachside, where I am, on the beach side on the East Coast, you can literally see there are less people. You can see the malls are shut down. So I think because the national government hasn't declared it officially for everybody, mandatory, the local governments are being allowed to do it, and that may be a mistake, because some of the local governments, like the cities and stuff, they're not requiring it, and therefore the people are ignoring it. And if they're ignoring it, it means if the virus is as contagious as it's believed to be, this is going to go on forever. You know, the way to stop it is everybody participate. Everybody stop the movement of the virus, then it dies out. Should take 2 or 3 weeks. But if people keep going about their daily routine, you know, making contact with other people, coughing on other people, breathing on other people, that's a problem. That means it never dies out. It continually keeps getting passed back and forth to different people. And on top of that, we have spring breakers coming into Florida, taking it back to other states. it's not a good looking position to be in right now. So, you know, maybe say a prayer for everybody. It's, you know, I don't know. I saw Orlando and I was like, oh my gosh, Orlando is not under shutdown at all. Everybody's still working and everybody's still driving. Everybody's still, the stores are all still open. I didn't check the mall. Would be interesting, but it's on the other side of town, to check out the, what they call the Orlando International Mall. That's where they have all the international travelers and stuff. And some of the bigger malls in Orlando, or maybe IKEA or something, see if they're still open. Because if they are open, that's bad. Because those are places with literally thousands or hundreds of thousands of people packing in each day. Tens of thousands at least. And that's people just coughing on each other, continuing to spread stuff back and forth. I don't know. Well, I am going to go ahead and sign out. I want to thank you all for joining me. Remember, contact me on my personal email and stuff. Send me your links. I am recruiting and in process of setting my crew up. And then, like I said, normally I'm not into making money, like going crazy on money. But right now, you're going to see me actually in action trying to make money. And maybe a lot of money. And if you happen to be with me, hopefully you're going to be making a lot of money. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe. Oh, and if you do need solar panels and stuff, and you live in, you know, Orlando or near here, or are going to be traveling through here once the travel ban is kind of lifted and people can kind of move around, you know, you can go by, contact Vaughn, who I will give the number to as soon as I get a chance to post it onto the about of this video. It's not there right now, but I'll be adding it. And you can contact Jevon, you know, the guy that I met there, contact directly, and just tell him, you know, because if you go through the company, you go through other people, they're going to charge you full price. Okay, so go through Vaughn, tell him Denoy sent you. He will give you the 10% off. Okay, so you get the special discounted price off the wholesale price. And if you come by and pick it up, you know, there's no additional fees. It's that simple. So those of you who are in the area, you can get solar panels. I'm debating, I'm thinking, you know, I might get a 300 watt panel to put on Little Blue or another van or something, maybe. I don't know. My first thing is to try to finish up the RV. So stay tuned for those episodes coming up. So take care, everyone. God bless you all. Stay safe. And try to avoid people. Really. Have a good day now. Bye-bye, everybody.